Hello everyone, this is Roxas1359. Welcome to a long episode of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. In this episode, I'm meeting you all at Crescent Moon Isle because we're going to be getting one last piece of heart before we begin the next dungeon. And the treasure chart that is for this island will allow us to get another piece of heart. But first things first, we have to deal with this annoying shark. So, go away. Go away. Dang it. After killing one, another takes its place. At least it wasn't two, otherwise I'd call Hydra shenanigans. And I have lost my boomerang. Please come back to me, boomerang. Thank you. Oh, come on. Where'd you go? Come on. Come on. Now, die. There we go. So, let us pull back out our grappling hook and look at our charts. So, as you can see, we're at Crescent Moon Isle, and treasure chart 11 is the one that will give you this piece of heart. So, let's move forward a little bit and grab it. With this piece of heart, we have obtained our fourth piece, which means we now have a total of 8 heart containers. Sweet. So 8 hearts going on in. Next chart, I was thinking, okay, do I want to go to Angular Isle to get this next treasure chart? Nah, we should do some story stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the direction of the wind, and we are going to be going to the Triangle Islands that are around the Great Sea, around the one area of the map that I can't fill out just yet. And there's a reason for that, and it is pertaining to this one. So we're going to cut to our first of the Triangle Islands. This one is Eastern Triangle Island, if I'm remembering correctly. So, go to this one. Watch out for the cyclone right there. That will warp you to a random location. Now, let us do something. So what does this sign say, I wonder? To reach Eastern Fairy Isle, head east from here. Okay. That's nice. I mean, we are on Eastern Triangle Island. But the statue appears to be reacting. Place the pearl we hold here. Well, which one? Well, it's the one that's color-coded to the eyes that are glowing. So this one, Din's Pearl. So, 2 pearls remain. So, now we're going to head off to our next Triangle Island. This time we're going to be placing Faror's Pearl in its proper location, which is Eastern Triangle Island, which means I am at Northern Triangle Island. My mistake. I always forget the Triangle Islands' names. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting to each one just to make it so that we don't end up taking, too long on the Great Sea, and we don't have a part just of me, doing that. But before we get there, we're going to make a stop at the Fire Mountain to get the treasure that is for Fire Mountain. So, let us see. I think this is good enough, so let's check our charts, which is, for this one, treasure chart 37. So, we're a little bit off, but this still should be good. Sweet. That is a disguised loading time, by the way. And for our reward, we get a silver rupee worth 200 rupees. That's pretty good, seeing as how I spent a boatload of rupees last time on a small treasure chart and, unfortunately, a joy pendant. But here we are at Eastern Triangle Island, so let us go over this way and place upon it Faror's Pearl. So, climb on up. It will say the same thing for each one. You can do these in any order that you want. I just so happen to be doing it in the order in which we got the pearls, which I was entirely unintentional, believe me on this. Alright, so we've placed Aurora's Pearl in the ancient statue's hand, so there's only one that remains, and that is Nehru's Pearl. So, let us head off to the final Triangle Island. Now, for this one, we're going to need to go to Southern Triangle Island. Now, one thing about what's going to be coming up is a cutscene that is real-time, so what I wanted to do was see if I could do it right at the morning. And we're going to be seeing that when I end up getting to there, because I'm going to wait a little bit, because I want it to be morning when I get all these pearls and activate this cutscene instead of nighttime. There goes the moon, but we need the sun to rise up a little bit. And some rupees wouldn't hurt. I was dealing with some sea hats because this island is guarded by a bunch of sea hats. As you can see, there's a couple of them off in the distance right now. Sea hats are annoying on the Great Sea, believe me. I hate them more than the sharks. Why didn't you grab the rupees, Roxas? I could have used those. But it's nice early in the morning, so why don't we place Nehru's Pearl on the statue? I kind of wanted it to be a little bit brighter, but oh well. But with this, all 3 pearls have been placed upon the pedestals. And now we get a fun cutscene. Delayed explosion. That is quite the distance in reality when looking at the actual map. And what appears is our next dungeon. Ooh. Twice this game, he's hit a wall at full force. I stand corrected. King of Red Lions can travel pretty fast when, you know, he doesn't have a sail. Why can't that happen when I'm in the boat? Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Tower of the Gods. So this is a giant test of courage, huh? Okie dokie. So, welcome to the Tower of the Gods. What we have to do is we have to beat this dungeon and we'll be granted the ability to defeat evil. Or specifically, a specific type of evil. But this is also the last area of the map that you need to fill out. This area will not appear until you end up summoning the Tower of the Gods, which means you have to have all 3 pearls, which means the map fish is around here, but we will be getting the map fish later. So, for right now, let's head on into our next dungeon. This has been kind of a while since we've been inside a dungeon, seeing as how, you know, to get Jaboon's Pearl was different. But the Tower of the Gods, this is a long dungeon, which is why it's split up into 3 parts. Starting off, go over this way and bring out your cannon so we can blow up the walls. You know, because screw ancient architecture and all that stuff. The water levels will rise and fall over time. What we need to do is we need to get into here. And I'm just blowing up everything because why not? Now, we're going to be encountering some familiar enemies inside this dungeon. Well, familiar for the Zelda universe at the very least. And in hindsight, this is one of the only dungeons in which they appear. Unless I'm forgetting in certain other areas. But I hear an electric chew. Yellow chews. Yellow chews are annoying. They are coated with an electric field. And if you touch them with your sword, you get stunned and you take damage. So, here's our first area. They drop any type of chew jelly except for blue, so do not expect to farm blue chew jelly off of them, unfortunately. There's only 10 blue chews in the game, so we have to wait. In the meantime, what we also have to wait for is getting it down here, so come on, water, go down. Go down. There we go. And I just so happened to hit the water right at the last second when I threw my stupid stick because I was trying to roll and forgot, Roxas, you can't roll when you're holding a Deku stick. Now I gotta wait all over again. That's pretty much a lot of this dungeon. There's a lot of waiting that you have to do if you screw up, but luckily I've cut out a lot of the screw-ups that I did. Yeah, I'm not the best at the Tower of the Gods, but light these 2 torches, and a chest appears. So, that takes care of that, so let's go on up over this way. Throw out my stick, and get the chest. So, open this up, and we get a joy pendant. You thought we were gonna get a small key, didn't you? No, there's not really that many small keys inside this dungeon. In fact, for the first couple of dungeons, there's really not a lot of them at all. And here's a familiar foe, the bubbles. I hate bubbles. They're annoying, especially because they can cause consecutive damage to you, and there's some that no curse. Now, I don't believe the ones that no curse are inside this game. I think that was only inside of Majora's Mask. But open this up, and we get the compass. Now, the compass is going to reveal something for this room. There's another chest inside this room, behind this wall, and there seems to be a switch right there of an eye. We're going to have to come back into that room later, because that is actually where our first treasure chart is. Now, here's me trying to see if this is another enemy, but it is not. So instead, we're just going to throw it over that way and just leave it alone. All right, so let's go and grab ourselves a key, shall we? So then we can actually continue with this. There is no wind current inside here, so there's no real need for you to have the sail out. Unfortunately, I'm going to be keeping the sail on for a little while because Roxas doesn't plan ahead always. All right, so our next destination is going to be over this way. Just got to wait for the water to lower. Perfect. Let's jump out and go inside this door right here. I love the music for the Tower of the Gods too. It's pretty interesting. And we've got an electric chew. Luckily, I managed to kill that before the water went on because here's the thing about electric chews and chews in general. They float on water. And electric chews on water are annoying. All right, so let's start bombing these walls. That didn't work. So I'm gonna need to push this box over this way. Be careful, these boxes can break. They respawn though if you leave the room and come back, so no need to worry. All right, so let's pull out the box right here. And let's try this again. I don't even know why I'm blowing up all the walls. I guess I just really hate ancient architecture. So, there goes me breaking the box. All right, so let's try moving this one then. A little bit closer. So then we can break everything. Because for some odd reason, Well, I am Link, Homewrecker. This is an ancient home. Whoop. There we go. And this one's turn. And broke the boxes again. But open up all them and we spawned another electric chew. I can hear it trying to come closer to me. There it is. And now we're gonna see an electric chew on water, which is very bad if you're not careful. But open this chest up. And we get the map. So push up to see it. So there we go. We have the compass and the map. Getting the compass first, seems. But the moment you get the compass first, bunch of electric chews. So many electric chews, not even bothering with them. It's not worth it. All right, so let us go to our next destination. Slow and steady. Something's telling me the weight of Link's what makes the King of Red Lions move so slow. I mean, otherwise I can go pretty fast. And great, we gotta wait for the water to rise again. Come on, come on. Like I said, that's pretty much this dungeon in a nutshell. You gotta wait. And that's kind of a pace breaker, I will admit. It's kind of annoying, but it's not too bad. Anyway, we've got a switch right here, so pick up this statue. Put it on the switch, and I didn't put it on the switch correctly, apparently. And? Oh, I didn't put it on the switch correctly. And we're gonna have to watch this every time, aren't we? Okay, third time's the charm. There we go. You know what they say, third time's the charm. Now, this room. Is this the room? No, this is not the room. For this one, we're going to have to place a box on something, on a switch right here. So, tiny box. And it causes a light bridge to form. Or a rainbow bridge, depending on what you want to call it. I call it a light bridge. So, pretty much, it's another waiting game. You gotta wait for it to lower down and then wait for it to come back up. Waiting game. That's really the worst part about the Tower of the Gods. It's a waiting game. But here's what our main prize is. This statue right here. We need to take this into the other room so we can lower a gate. Then once we lower the gate, we can eventually get ourselves another statue. But first, we're gonna need a key. So, put this right here. And the gate lowers. Very, very slowly. If you could not tell, there's a lot of waiting in this dungeon. I mean a lot of waiting inside this dungeon. Luckily, we can get through the gate, which was still lowering, without having to worry about the water rising and falling. Otherwise, I'd call bull on that, because this dungeon's already going a little bit slow. We've been inside here for, what, 6-7 minutes already? And I apologize for such a long episode, ladies and gentlemen. The next 2 episodes are kind of split up a little bit better, but I wanted to get a majority of this dungeon done. And this is with me cutting out me screwing around inside the dungeon too, so you can imagine how long this dungeon was. I only hope that in the future the dungeons are a little bit faster, because I should know them, but it has been a while since I've played. All right, so that's one. Let us grab the second one. As we go into what was probably the bane of my existence, this room. What we have to do, have to take a Deku stick, take it to the other side of the room, pretty much go across the platforms, and light some torches. That will give us a key. This room took me 5 minutes because of how the water was bobbing and would put out my Deku stick. So here's an attempt by me, and my Deku stick got put out. So that Deku stick is useless. So let us grab all the boxes and put them in the right place. Don't worry, I'm not going to be spending 5 minutes in this room. I'm going to be cutting. I just happen to have bad luck in this room. This is like the standout room for me inside this dungeon, is just this. All right, now we can try again. Let's wait for the water to lower. And now let's wait for it to rise. Nothing but waiting. And waiting. And waiting. See, even Ling's getting impatient. Okay, so let's try this again. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3. How did my stick get put out? If you noticed, right before I missed my jump, my stick went out, which caused me to decide, you know what? Forget this, we're cutting. All right, let's try this again. This time with a stick that will stay lit. Now give me my stick. And let us go across. So, keep this thing lit. Keep it lit infinitely. Wait for the water to go down, and then we're gonna wait for the water to go up. There was one instance in which that happened a second time, in which I made it across the entire thing with a Deku stick, but then it just suddenly went out. I'm not aware that these things are on a time limit. If they are, then I kind of go bull on that. I mean, it makes sense inside the other games because Deku sticks were a consumable item. In this game, Deku sticks are infinite. But that takes care of that. So this stick is useless. So, we get a small key for spending 5 minutes in this room. Luckily, you will never see me spending the 5 minutes. 5 minutes in the room. Now that was just a dick move. Not gonna lie, that was kind of a dick move. But we are done with there, so now we need to go back all the way to the other side of the dungeon so we can use our small key. And this one requires more waiting, and waiting, and waiting. The first floor of the Tower of the Gods is the waiting floor. The rest of the Tower of the Gods goes by rather quickly. It's the beginning of the dungeon that's very slow, which I don't think I've ever really experienced in a dungeon in a Zelda game before. Then again, I've not gotten too far in A Link Between Worlds, so I don't know how well that goes for that. And it's been a while since I've played through Ocarina of Time. And then again, the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time is a lot of waiting, too. So, let's wait for the water to rise. Nothing but waiting. And now that it's risen, now we need to wait for it to lower, because our next destination is over this way. So, swim over this way. Come on, lower. There we go. You don't need to relight the torches or anything. You don't get anything else for doing that. But go inside this room, and we've got electric shoes. So kill the electric shoes quickly. And now we've got to wait for the water to lower because unfortunately we can't attack while we're swimming. Something I really wish we could do, but that wouldn't be until Twilight Princess. Okay, kill the electric shoes. Kill the last one. Get a rupee. And some light stairs appear. Sweet, red shoe jelly. Don't really need it. And here is our second statue. We're just about done with the first floor of this dungeon. I know, we've spent an entire part on pretty much the first floor of a dungeon. I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. But take the statue up over this way. Put it inside the slot. And the water from the mouth closes and reveals a new entrance. So now we can go onto the second floor. I don't get how this tests your courage. This tests your patience, yes. That I won't argue. How does it test your courage, though? it doesn't really make sense on how it tests your courage. I can't think of a way on how it does that. But, goodbye, King of Red Lions. Thank you for helping me inside this dungeon so far. So, let's go up, and we have Beamos! I do not like Beamos in this game, because you can't kill them with bombs. Beamos pretty much are indestructible except for their eye, and their eye only becomes solid once you step on to their line of sight, in which they will instantly start firing at you. So we have 3 switches right here, and a platform. What we have to do, there are some statues on the other side. We need to take them across. So, let us go across. Watching out for the Beamos. You can destroy Beamos with the item that we get inside this dungeon, but it is rather annoying. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. Ow. Gimme. I'm slowly moving it. Okay. You done? You done. Good. Now put that right there. And go and get the second one. Yay! Let's hope that this thing doesn't kill me. Go away, Beamos. No. Beamos, stop. Hit that. Hit this. And we get moving platforms. There we go. And slow and steady going up. Now, for some odd reason, there's a platform that's just at the top right here that we're... do I show it off? Yeah, right in the back. I don't know why that's there. That doesn't lead you to a treasure. That doesn't lead you to anything at all. I don't know why that's there. But, welcome to the next main part of the dungeon. So, there's only one door that's open right now, and we'll need to go through it. So, let's go through right here. And we've got electric shoes. Electric shoes pretty much make up a good majority of the enemies inside this dungeon, except for a couple of other things. Now, you might be questioning, why am I taking this with me? I don't even know myself. Now, there's a door over that way, as you can see. And we've got electric shoes to go after us. There we go. Kill them. And get ourselves some hots, because those Beamos really did some damage. And this room I screwed up in and didn't see the call button. So I ended up going backwards. So, just press the R button to call this thing, and it will come on down. So how much time did Roxas spend, forgetting that the call button was right there? Only about like 2 minutes, so. Yeah, that was still 2 minutes though, Roxas. Yeah, I don't understand why I forget the Tower of the Gods the most. Out of any dungeon in this game, this is the dungeon I always forget about whenever I replay Wind Waker. And I don't know why, and honestly, with how this playthrough's going, just a little bit on a technical side, this looks like it's gonna be my last SD Wind Waker playthrough because my disc is scratched. Apparently throwing a statue down a pit kills you. Who'da thunk it? Anyway, this looks like it's gonna be my last SD Wind Waker playthrough, which isn't bad. I mean, I'll just get used to the HD version of it. Who knows, I might do a Let's Play of the HD version in the future. Maybe in that one I'll actually get all the statues. Highly doubt it. But pretty much my disc is scratched up from being overplayed so much. I had the same problem with Fallout New Vegas on the PlayStation 3. I wish I was joking. But yeah, pretty much looks like it's gonna be my last SD Wind Waker playthrough because it's expensive to buy GameCube editions of Wind Waker, ladies and gentlemen. I mean very expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. But when we go back into the center room, the statue goes on its own towards the center. And it's time we learn ourselves a new song. So, looks like it's in 4/4. So let us see what this new song is. It appears to be markings that indicate specific directions. All right, so let's go into 4/4 and learn the command melody. And there we go, we have learned the command melody. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna end it off right here. This has been Roxas1359. Next time, we're gonna be finishing, well, not gonna be finishing up the Tower of the Gods. We're gonna be doing more of the Tower of the Gods. Silly me. So, see you all next time.